All right, let's talk anxiety and depression. For those of you that have anxiety or depression, I'm opening up about this. I have been silent about this for way too long, almost embarrassed by it. But the more that I talk to people and open up my story, just like how I did with my eating disorders and my intuitive eating journey, the more people are coming out of the woodworks about this. So I'm going to talk about it. I was recently diagnosed with PMDD. And that is premenstrual dysphoric disorder, meaning twice a month I get crazy hormonal imbalanced and I get severe anxiety and depression. It feels like somebody is taking over my body. It literally feels like I can't control anything. And the more you tell me to just be happy and to just feel gratitude for what I have, because I'm very grateful for what I have, it makes things worse though. You cannot tell somebody with anxiety or depression, oh, just be happy. Look at all that you have. Look at what you do. That actually makes things worse. So I wanted to open up about this, how I deal with my PMDD when things like this happen to me, because I'm human. We're all human. Welcome to humanity if there is something going on in your life, right? So I am in no way, shape, or form a doctor, medical professional. This is not medical advice. This is literally just how I deal with it. And I wanted to share this with you guys. So, I mean, if you think about it, anxiety is literally just your brain and your thoughts attacking you. It's your fear taken over. So when I get, there's usually 3 days that this happens in, twice a month. So the first day is usually feeling, it's like a numbing day. It's like I just feel numb to everything, like my husband, my kids. It's crazy. It's really weird. And then usually the next day, it's a severe anxiety day. And I get so hopped up on anxiety and fear running my life. Like these thoughts, it's literally, the best way I can describe it is like this black cloud over you, and you can't run away from it. You can't hide from it. You try and lift it off, and it's just so heavy. It just blankets you. And you feel helpless and hopeless. And it's extremely just daunting to even think about. And the more you think about it, the more you fall into this depression of what's wrong with me, something's wrong with me, this didn't happen last year, why is this getting worse? And then that makes things worse. So you magnify that fear of, well, you have a problem, something's going on, you're not normal, this isn't right, this isn't you. And then you're scared that it'll never leave you. And then usually my last day, the day 3 out of 3, is like a depression hangover, because I've been so hopped up on anxiety and fear that my brain is just so tired of thinking, and all I want to do is just be small. And I don't mean this in like a body shape, physique form or anything. I want to literally get into the smallest ball that I can and hide and cover up and go to bed and do nothing, say nothing, cry like the entire day. And it's not just like I'm a depressed cry. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like a helpless, just nothing can be fixed cry. So this is extremely embarrassing for me to talk about, because this is kind of what I do for a living. I'm not a psychologist, like I said, or anything like that, but I help people get through these hard times. So to me, it almost makes me feel like a failure. Like, why can't I get through this? Why, I've used all the tricks and tips in my book from, healing my relationship with food and healing my relationship with my body, that I feel like a failure. Like, why can't I do this to myself? I can help other people with this. Why can't I do it to myself? So that's really hard for me. And I've noticed that whenever I'm in like a serious depression or anxiety mode, I have a lot of lack in my life. I lack the right body. I lack the right nutrition. I lack the right look. I lack the right kind of happiness right now. Like, there's always a lack. And my husband the other day made me watch The Greatest Showman, which I know it's 2020 and that came out, like 4 or 5 years ago. I'm not into musicals. I totally appreciate people who do musicals. That is a lot of hard work, what they do. I'm not into them. But I watched that one, and there was that song, Never Enough, that came on, and it like hit me like a ton of bricks, because one of her verses in there was, towers of gold are still too little. These hands will hold the world, but it'll never be enough. And it's kind of how you feel in depression or anxiety. Like, and I have to remind myself this, like, I could have the best body in the world. And I've had the best body in the world. Well, to me anyway, in my state. I had that, and it was still not enough. I wanted more. I always wanted more. I wanted the follower count on TikTok. I got it, and I want more. I want more. I want more, right? I want the social media likes. I've got, that, and I want more, and I want more, and I want more. And it's never, ever going to be enough. And when you're in lack, you're constantly thinking about what you don't have, what you're not capable of. All these things kind of clouding your brain of you're not enough. And this is that fear taking over of you can't do this, like all these bad things kind of you're saying in your head. And if you don't catch this monster early, you will grow it. It will grow. And my best advice to you, because I just went through a hell of the last couple of days, and I know you probably have too if you're still watching this at this point, because I literally went into this total investigation mode as an experiment, and I tried some things that I normally wouldn't have if I didn't go into this. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were my 3 days this week that I was just out. And Monday, I was in the numbing stage, and I was like, okay, this is coming. I know it's coming. So I'm going to try and do what they say, right? I'm going to work out. I'm going to eat, nourishing foods. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to do some meditation, some self-care. I did all of that, and it was a meh day. The second day, Tuesday, was my high anxiety day. I didn't work out at all. I still worked like I normally would, helped out some clients. I had some great client calls. It was amazing. But then at the end of the day, it's just this high anxiety of, you didn't do enough. You're not a good enough mom. You didn't say this to this client. You didn't, do this enough. You should have done this more. And I just kind of stopped and then went into a deep depression that night. And then of course, Wednesday was my worst day. I took a whole day off, did a puzzle all day, just cried. It was honestly not the best thing ever. So I did the 2 days. I did what they say to do, work out and do this, try and boost your mood. And then I did that day where I wanted to just be small and stay in a ball all day. And I just laid in bed, and it was just crying, and it was almost made things worse. So, and I know at that point, when you are super depressed, the last thing you want to do, taking a shower is the biggest feat in the world. You're that is too much. You cannot tell me to shower right now. And then, it's really hard too, because I'm thinking about the days, and I'm thinking about, okay, which day was the best day out of those three? And it was honestly probably Monday or Tuesday. The day that I did nothing, it made things worse. And it does make you stumble further into depression when you're just sitting there, and thinking, wallowing in that, and all that lack. So here's my advice to you, is when this happens, when this takes over, when the depression, the anxiety takes over, my whole goal was to be happy. Come on, Christy, this isn't you, your bubbly personality. What's going on? And I held myself to this high standard of, this is who you usually are. Why are you not here? And then that almost made me more fearful, more in lack, more scared of what was happening to me. And so my hope for you is that you don't shoot for that high star, that you shoot for something neutral. So when you're looking in the mirror and you're like, what happened to your body? What did you do to it? And instead you say, I have a body. Use a neutral statement. It doesn't have to be, oh, Christy, I love your cellulite so much. It's so wonderful and beautiful, and I love everything about it. That to me is building a house in a day. It's just, what? You cannot do that. It's skipping a lot of steps going up there. So my advice to you would just be, use something neutral. Just try and get to a neutral state. Don't try and get to this high state of joy and happiness. You're coming from this low place. To jump from here to here is a big leap. Take it slow. Take it step by step. Go at your own pace here. And start, when you start to feel those feelings come in of numbness, of anxiety, of depression, believe that you can ever really get rid of that monster. I think even like the happiest person in the world still has those days, but what you do is you know how to make the monster smaller. And you do that by both physical and mental actions. So I at first was using all mental. I'm like, okay, say my daily affirmations, say something nice to yourself, do this. And yes, it helps, but I forgot about the physical part. So some things that you can do on the physical end of this are to, I always think of like 3 jars. So I have my nutrition jar, my self-care jar, and my movement jar. So in my nutrition jar, on these days when everything seems impossible, like you're just like, I can't even get out of bed, I just need to put 1 marble in that jar. That's it. Just 1 marble in each of those 3 jars. And I don't need to fill the jar up. Like, to me, that's saying, oh, come on, Christy, you need to do a 2-hour workout. You need to go for a walk. You need to do an hour of meditation. You still got to do all this work and revamp this course and do that. And then play with your kids, give them baths. And like, that's just too much. So what is one thing you can do for this 1 jar? So let's start with nutrition. The one thing I can do, can I go for a quick walk? Can I stretch for 5 minutes? Can I just do some ankle stretches in bed? Can I move my body somehow? My coach had always told me, and I believe this through and through, when we are like animals, when they're in fight or flight mode, they literally shake after a fight or after they've been playing or something. It's because when you're in fight or flight mode, you literally have to get that energy out of you. If you don't, it stays within you. So you can literally like jump up and down, shake, do 10 squats. You can do like whatever you need to do to shake that energy out. We are mammals. Like we're in that fight or flight mode. So what this does is it gets you into that rest and digest mode. So you get out of the sympathetic nervous system and you get into that rest and digest mode, because when you're in anxiety, fear is running your life, and fear means there's a tiger behind you. I mean, this is speaking like primally, but back in the primal days, like our brains are so old, there was always, oh, there's a tiger in the bush. There's a tiger in the bush. Well, there's no tiger in the bush anymore, but our brain still thinks it. And that's what it's doing. You're telling your brain there's a tiger in the bush by letting fear, anxiety, depression run your world. So really do your best to try and get to that neutral state, and to not jump up too high, and try your best to get back into that parasympathetic nervous system, the rest or digest. And another way you can do this too is through deep breathing. I know, I want that magic pill. I want that. No, Christy, you're telling me all the things that people already said. I know. But there is no magic pill. There is no magic sentence that's going to just, oh my God, that's it. I need to do that. That's exactly it. You have to learn how to manage this. You don't need to be fixed. Please do not try and fix this. Manage it. So try that with that physical aspect of it. And movement, you know what I mean? You can put that 1 marble in your movement jar. So for nutrition, I try like in the body kindness book that I was reading, and I forget who wrote it. I forgot, but she says, just what's the way you can put 1 carrot on a plate? She goes, start with 1 carrot on a plate. Like that's all you need to do. That's your 1 marble. Like, how can I get some nutrients or something into my body? Like the last thing I wanted was anything nutritious, because you're already in this deep mode of, I don't care, I don't give a shit, nothing matters anymore, to where this mode is going to, like, adding that carrot in or just that cucumber or that one thing, it's going to flip that switch for you a little bit. So all these little things, it's not one big thing, it's all these little things that are going to help. That 1 marble, that's all you need. And then in my marble jar of self-care, I don't really look at self-care as like manicures, pedicures, spa days, things like that. I look at self-care as water, sleep, my environment. So what is one thing you can do? And sometimes it is, like, I did my makeup and my hair today and it actually felt good. That was a form of self-care for me, because this whole week I had not been taking care of myself. But the one thing that I needed more than anything was sleep and water. So, and my environment was okay. Definitely talked to my husband about this and said, hey, I just need your support right now. Just know this isn't gonna last, but I need your support. Tell me everything's gonna be okay. Give me multiple hugs during the day. Whatever you need to do. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you guys need anything or if you have anything else that you want to say, but this is important to talk about and it's important to get it out. So it's cathartic. I'll see you soon.